Hey, this is Mike from the Graphic Novel Show. Are you interested in starting and running your own podcast? Well, you know, this is the second one that we've done. We used to do a different one, and we decided to start this one. And last time we used Anchor, and you know what? We decided to go back with Anchor again because they are the easiest way to make a podcast. They give you everything you need in one place for free. You can do it right from your phone or on your computer. Anchor gives you creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. You can do that right from your phone. That's quite amazing. They'll also distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Now, what you need to do is go download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hi, I'm Parker, and I use they, them pronouns.
And I'm Mike, and I am he, him, and whatever else fits. And this is the Graphic Novel Podcast. Welcome to our show.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, this is a show where we read graphic novels or sometimes some short comics, zines, things like that. And then we do a review discussion. And we can talk about a lot of different things on this show.
Sometimes we talk about divorce. Sometimes we talk about abortion. A lot of times we talk about queer issues.
We have kids and relationships, all different kinds of stuff. So, yeah. So it's a cool show. And we're glad you're listening. And if you like our show, we'd appreciate if you go to
Twitter, go to Apple Podcasts, and give us a great rating. And if you leave a review, we may read it on the air.
And if you visit us at anchor.fm, Graphic Novel Podcast, you can actually leave a voice message that we can play on the air.
That's exciting. Do you remember growing up and hearing your voice, thinking how cool it would be to hear your voice on the radio? Yeah.
All right. Well, and on to today's show.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Parker, how's it going?
What is that?
It's a different voice.
Interesting. I challenge you to do that voice through the whole podcast.
If you want me to do that voice through the whole podcast, it will be difficult.
Yes, you'll be exhausted.
I could try, though.
No, it's okay.
All right. All right.
I'm good.
Yes.
Life is good.
Everything's going well right now. We are in the Seattle area, for those of you who aren't. And yes, there is the COVID-19 here.
Yes.
But
not far from us.
Not
either.
far, but we don't know anybody that's contracted it. And as of right now, it looks like Emerald City Comic Con is going on, but we're debating going or not going.
I think we're not going to be able to go this year.
Because there was just a press conference from the governor who said that, first of all, there shouldn't be any large congregations of people, which means that they're trying to push this to cancel.
Yeah.
And
it's a week away, though. I feel like
know.
They really need to make a definitive statement.
Well, as of right now,
I mean, how many people have flights booked that they have to come no matter what?
Well,
and especially if you're worried about it and you're coming from like an area that it's not really an issue and you're flying into
that has it.
The epicenter.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, not quite. No. Obviously, China is, but
yes, for the most part, it was all centered at a nursing facility and that a long-term care facility. So that's really where the epicenter here is.
Yeah, it was. Like we go to work out at the gym, right? And there's a lot of elderly people when I go in during the day, and it seemed really like eerily quiet.
Yeah,
I think people are just being really cautious, and I mean that's good. It's good that people are being cautious and thinking about themselves. But the Costco running out of toilet paper,
that's weird.
I heard someplace that the only Costco that had toilet paper was in Alaska.
I don't know about that.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but why Costco? Every other supermarket.
Because it's bulk.
But I saw people tweeting stuff that said even in other parts of Seattle, you could go to the store and everything was there.
Yeah, somebody commented that. In fact, my friend, Ashley from that volunteers with me, said that like she went to Walmart and there was toilet paper there. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Why are people?
I know, but they have to go to Costco because they need 3,000 rolls. They can't just go to the supermarket.
But I mean, if you're
rolls.
quarantined for 2 weeks, I mean, and I guess if you don't know if you'll have some major bathroom issues with this virus, I don't know.
It's
That's the only thing I could think of.
It's not a diarrhea virus.
I didn't want to say that.
Yeah, I know what you meant. I understand what you meant.
But that's like the only reason that I could think of that people are like, I need not just a couple things of toilet paper. Like, I need a Costco-sized toilet paper.
I need the economy size of 3.
And if everybody's running out of it, then it has to mean that people are buying multiple things.
People are just right now just freaking out. I know it's going to spread. There's going to be more because there's going
to be more deaths, and I just
there will. And for the most part, they've all been elderly people. Although there's somebody that was 50s.
My skin on my hands is peeling. It's really strange. It's like all of a sudden.
That is one of the symptoms
of what?
COVID-19.
Oh, stop it! It's I think from washing my hands all the time.
Well, that's a good thing.
Well, I mean, skin peeling is not fun.
I was reading something about how men are actually washing their hands. There's lines in the men's room.
Oh my God.
I'm like, what the fuck?
It is so disgusting.
Men are disgusting at work. Last Monday, I watched people take a piss and then walk out. I'm like, what the fuck, people? This shit's going on right now. Wash your goddamn hands.
People do it in all bathrooms, and it's so infuriating. And
I know. You've been in bathrooms where women have gone poop and then just left.
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
I guess I can't say that I knew for sure that they were pooping, but
they were.
Like there were enough signs.
They were. The grunting.
No, but the air quality,
the smell. You can say those words.
I don't want to be mean because everybody poops.
Yes, but nobody knows who we're talking about. We don't even know who we're talking about.
I know we don't. But I don't want people to feel ashamed of pooping in public because sometimes you have to do it.
I poop in public whenever
I know. When you were a bike messenger, you were so proud of yourself. You knew where all the best bathrooms were.
I did. And sometimes eating Chinese food for lunch, it went right through me.
Oh my God, I miss Buffalo Chinese food.
I mean, the fast food Chinese is not any different.
Yes, it is.
You think
it is different. Buffalo, the Buffalo sesame chicken was so good. It was just so much better than here.
Maybe it's not really.
I think it was just
chicken.
It was spicier.
Oh, maybe.
It just had a little spice to it. Here, it's very sweet.
Yeah, it's more like the orange chicken with sesame seeds on it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, nothing's
authentic.
Authentic. There we go. Oh my God. Remember when we went to Erie? This is way off topic.
Erie.
So,
Erie, Canada.
The other thing I wanted to say was that, I started taking testosterone this week.
Yay.
So our listeners will hopefully get to hear some changes in my voice. That'll be exciting.
Yeah, it will be very exciting.
Once a week, so they'll get to
once a week. Eventually, they won't know which one of us.
I like that you're mocking me.
No, they won't know which one of us.
You're mocking me.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't consider it mocking.
Doesn't matter what you consider it.
I didn't think it was mocking.
My voice is not going to get that deep.
You don't know that, do you?
No, I don't. I want to say so many things to you right now.
Maybe we should wait till we're off air.
We should.
Anyhow, so what about Fort Erie? Chinese food?
Oh, they had the best. We went to this Chinese place.
It was a real Chinese restaurant.
It was a real Chinese restaurant. And it was probably the first Chinese restaurant that we actually went and sat down in.
Probably.
When I moved to Buffalo. And it was really good. I don't know why and it's just the crunch and the taste and everything.
It wasn't fast food Chinese. It wasn't buffet Chinese.
Yeah. There's a lot of Chinese buffets. Did we talk about this before?
No.
I'm having like a deja vu.
No.
Anyway.
Yes. Okay. Got
all right. We got some
some news. We'll be back after that. All right. The news that I've got this week is that for the first time ever, graphic novel has been awarded the coveted 2020 John Newbery Medal for the most outstanding contribution to children's literature.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
That's impressive.
I didn't see this. It came out late January. And the book, it was the graphic novel New Kid by Jerry Craft, who is an African-American man. It's an uplifting tale of a 12-year-old African-American boy living in New York City's Washington Heights who just wants to go to art school. But instead, his parents enroll him in a private school where he's one of the only students of color. And he said that basically that was his life. He wanted to go to art school, and his parents said, no, we're going to send you to this private school that's really good for you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This book has also received the Coretta Scott King Award, which celebrates African American authors and illustrators.
Cool.
And the book, it must be out. But yeah, it's great. Great that first of all, a graphic novel received this award.
Yes.
And it's, it's like people are saying, it's that they're just not comic books; they're actually books. They just have more pictures than regular kids' books.
Right.
And they're good. They're literature too. They can be really good.
Yeah.
And congratulations on that.
Yes, congratulations.
So,
very cool.
Yeah, somebody had tweeted, it said that graphic novels have been awarded Pulitzer Prize, National Book Award, Newbery Medal, Caldecott Honor, and cartoons have been named National Ambassador for Young People's Literature, MacArthur Fellows. And like I just said, graphic novels are literature worth of reading and studying.
Especially when you look at even the stuff that we've been reading recently, is that there's so much history and so much you can learn from them without having this like overload of information.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like I feel, and maybe it's just the way that I learn, but I feel like reading the graphic novels just helps it sink in that much more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It is good that that the people are recognizing that they are really can be really important and good, and good artwork and good everything.
Yeah, good. They
could be the good.
The good and the good.
Yep, the good and good. All right, so let's get on to this week's book then. What are we doing, Parker?
Are we, or are we going to talk about this first?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that first.
Okay.
Can I see it?
No, I think you're going to have to just remember it.
All right.
Since you yelled at me.
We had yelled at you about what? Not reading it?
Not reading it yet.
We had done we had bought a bunch of stuff, a few zines when we were at the Short Run Festival last November. And speaking of that, I just finished a 6-week class.
I think we said that you were doing
but I just finished it. A 6-week comic class run by the Short Run people.
The Short Run people.
It was good. It was really good. Enjoyed it a lot.
Met some nice people, folks.
Yep. And I've got a 12-page comic all laid out. I have to finish it and put it together, and we'll let you know when it's done. And probably have it available for people.
Yeah?
Yeah, why
That's
not?
exciting.
Yeah, it's a story about my part of my life as a bike messenger.
Yeah.
All right, but this book here, speaking of
bikes,
by Issy Manley, and it's called The Curse of the Orange Bike.
I really love the cover.
Oh yeah,
the watercolors,
and
the back too. Look at that.
Yep,
the flowers.
yeah.
I love it.
Yep,
it just draws me in.
But I grabbed it probably because it was a bike, and
I'm sure, and orange too. I noticed that.
Oranges.
You have this
color.
draw
Yes,
toward orange.
Orange is my thing.
It's your thing.
But
do what you gonna do.
Yeah, so it's a cute little story about.
I don't know about cute.
It's
nice. I just feel like cute is kind of
demeaning.
Yeah.
Okay, I meant cute in a nice way, but I get what you're saying. It's
they may not feel like it's demeaning. I get it's my personal.
I know what you're saying. I meant cute in a nice, fun way. It's a neat little story about what's the character's name? Do we have a character name?
It's her.
Is it her?
Yeah, Issy.
Oh, it is her?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it is.
Izzy? Is it Izzy? Do you think Izzy or Issy?
I don't know.
It's probably Izzy.
It could be.
I'm sorry if we're saying your name wrong.
Yeah, I apologize.
You're listening.
But yeah,
because it says for my friend E and the joy of riding bikes.
That's right. It's about when she
went to college, right?
Yep.
And needed to get around, and her friend lent her a bike that she hadn't ridden since she was a kid, and started riding bikes.
And that was it.
Started
the
riding bikes.
love of riding bikes.
The love of
kicked
riding
off.
bikes, but then she bought this bike that she really loved, this orange, I forgot what kind it was, but this
Nikon. No.
she bought it from a bike shop, and one day she's locking it up outside of a place, and some guy comes out and says, "That's my bike." And apparently 30 years earlier, his ex-wife had kept it in his divorce, and then she just got rid of it because she didn't really want it. She just wanted to
Nishiki. Yeah.
It's orange Nishiki. And he was probably right. It probably was his. It wasn't that common. So, but still, I mean, she had bought it, and the guy.
I'm trying to think if I've seen an orange bike.
Yeah, they're not real common.
I mean, you rode a lot of bikes, and you were in and out of bike shops. Do you remember seeing road bikes that were
There probably was. But
orange?
I don't remember. They're usually
Not that stood out.
More muted colors.
Yeah.
Even my bike was red.
Yeah.
My last one, so it was pretty bright.
Yeah, I loved your bike.
But yeah. So I mean, it's fun little story that gets a little weird because the guy really wants this bike, and she's not sure if she wants to give it to him because.
Oh my God! Can we talk about the pumpkin pie guy?
Sure.
You don't remember that
Tell me.
frame? She's talking about that she rode the bike everywhere.
I do remember.
And a guy, she's riding her bike, and some guy says to her, pumpkin pie.
Looking at her from behind.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is an actual thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with people?
I don't know.
What is wrong with men in particular?
Yeah, primarily white men. Primarily white men, but not all. Men in general. We're assholes. In general. And that would be the bottom line there.
And the birds. I like the birds too. I love the art. The art was good.
It was really good. So it was.
And did you know she used a U-lock too?
Yeah. So it was a fun little story. Yeah. But yeah. So Curse of the Orange Bike.
How strange to have somebody. That's my bike.
Yeah, of all places too.
And then to kind of harass her and
to go off topic
to the point that she's finally like, okay, I love that she loves this bike.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it and continues to love it even after she moves on and gets a different bike. But it's like, this guy's harassing me.
Yeah. No,
what do I do about this?
No, I agree. The off topic slightly, but I had something similar when I was working at Radio Shack, and one night a couple came in separately, had me split up in the store that was shaped like an L, and while one of them kept me busy, the other one was pocketing a bunch of crap.
What does that have anything to do
because
with it? This is not slightly off topic.
Then out of nowhere, I saw them at the mall like a week later.
Oh.
I don't know if I'd ever seen them before, and all of a sudden they just appeared.
Yeah.
And I watched them ripping off stuff from another store.
Yeah.
And I got security from the mall, and nobody really seemed to care.
Well, because they already knew who they were. They knew about the couple.
Yeah, but I don't know if there was anything that I could do, or they did. But anyhow, all right. Let's take a quick break here, and we'll get to our main book. All right, we're back. We're back, and this week's book is called Bury the Lede. It's by Gaby Dunn.
And do you remember why I told you about this book? That was the weirdest thing that I've ever said. Okay, so we chose this book. We chose this book because Gabby and Allison have a podcast. They co-host a podcast called Just Between Us, and it's one of my favorite podcasts. I listen to it every week. And
we listen to it in the car, and we all listen to it.
Yes, I know, but I listen to all the new episodes like immediately,
Yeah.
and then when I'm caught up on new episodes, then I go back to as far as I can and listen to the episodes there. When I'm completely out, I want to go to their YouTube channel if it's still available. I don't even know if it is, but they had a YouTube channel. That's how I think
I don't think they do it anymore because
I don't think
because they're demonetizing the LGBTQ people.
Yeah.
Because they said that they had Adam and Eve as one of their sponsors at one point. And that's an automatic check mark by YouTube when they do searches for shit. And,
oh God, YouTube is so awful.
Yeah, I know. I still might upload all of my comics TV shows there, though.
But anyway,
Yeah. So why did you mention this?
I'm listening to her talk about it, and so on their intros, they both come up with a new thing about them. When there's, I'm Allison Raskin, and she comes up with a new, like, I'm very, I don't know what the last one, I can't think of, whatever. They talk about themselves. They say like 3 quick facts. And Gaby Dunn always says bisexual icon wink. And
she says bicon,
bisexual icon wink. And then always like, I think Allison one time said that she was petty, and it's just the funniest things. And then that's how they start. It's I love it. It's one of the things I love about the podcast.
And I don't think they tell each other what they're going to say because they're surprised.
Yeah, and then it just starts their conversation. And it's like a really nice way to start the podcast, and just really soft. And it's a variety show. They do games and interviews with some awesome people. They had somebody from the Trevor Project talking on the show. And then, like, one of the old episodes I went and listened to, they were talking to Allison's ex-boyfriend. So, like, there's a wide range of people that they talk to, but they're also on the New York Times bestsellers list. So, so anyway, my point here was during one of the intros, Gaby had said that she was had just published her first
graphic novel.
Oh, yeah. So I was like, "Oh, that's perfect."
And you mentioned, well, excuse me, and you mentioned it, and I pulled it up on Hoopla, and I'm like, "Oh, this looks pretty good." I wasn't sure at first, and then once I started reading, I'm like, "Oh, I really like this," and so that's where Bury the Lede is.
We weren't sure when we were going to read it. I mean, we have this long list of stuff, but then when I get really excited about stuff, I think we tend to push it to the front just because I'm so excited. Although I do have one book that I really, really love, and and we're saving it for June, but I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, there's a couple that we need to get through.
You make it sound like a chore. It's not a chore.
No, that we need to get through. That we've got some books.
Yeah.
And now I think
we have Persepolis or something sitting down there.
Yes.
That's like, we need to do this.
Them, yeah.
It's been sitting. 2 of them.
Yeah, there's 2.
Yeah. Anyway, it's such a hard life we live.
It is. And since we're probably not going to Emerald City Comic Con, we're not going to get new stuff there. So we're probably.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting to spend a couple $100.
I know.
On stuff. So, but we do have a lot of books to read still. So. I had bought a lot of stuff.
I think I'm just going to be a little bit sad about not going to Emerald City.
I will
this year. I'm just saying, like, I understand why we're making the decision.
Yeah, it's not.
We were just
not
so
final
up
yet.
About it.
I mean, if it doesn't get worse, who knows?
I just feel like it can't not get worse.
If things get worse, like if another 50 people come up dead in the next week, then we're definitely not.
I don't think 50 people are going to come up dead. And the way, I mean, I think that now that because UW, I feel, is this all we're going to talk about? UW came up with their own testing, right? So I feel like the testing is going to start to get more widespread, and that's going to hopefully allow more people to come back positive, but get treatment sooner.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting till they're on their deathbed.
All right. So why don't you tell us what?
You know what? I was going to do this. I
Did you
keep
forget
trying.
to pull it up?
No, I keep trying and it keeps going away.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you about the creators. Gaby Dunn is a New York Times best-selling author, comedian, LGBTQ activist, and recovering journalist living in Los Angeles. Her writing has appeared in the New York Times, Cosmopolitan, New York Magazine, the Boston Globe, Marie Claire, and basically every major publication that exists. She's also the host and creator of the podcast Bad with Money with Gaby Dunn, which was adapted into a book of the same name, published by Simon Schuster in 2019. In 2017, she co-authored the young adult novel I Hate Everyone But You, which quickly became a New York Times bestseller, and the sequel Please Send Help was published in 2019. She lives with her dog Beans, who is a very fat chihuahua. And Claire Rowe is an artist from the east of Scotland. She studied animation at Duncan of Jordanstone College of Art and graduated in 2013. Since then, she has gone on to work with clients such as Vertigo, DC, and Boom Studios on titles including Wonder Woman, Batgirl, and The Birds of Prey, and We Welcome Back.
So the synopsis
of this story is
for Bury the Lede is, I'm sorry, you have to admit that was hilarious.
It was funny.
Okay. Cub reporter Madison Jackson is young, scrappy, and hungry to prove that she deserves her coveted college internship at the premier newspaper in town, the Boston Lead. So when her police scanner mentions a brutal murder tied to the prominent Boston Kennedys, Madison races to the crime scene looking for the scoop of the century. What she finds instead is the woman who will change her life forever, Dahlia Kennedy, celebrity socialite, now widow, covered in gore and the prime suspect in the murder of her husband and child. When Dahlia refuses to talk to anyone but Madison, they begin a dangerous game of cat and mouse that leads the young journalist down a twisted path. From Gaby Dunn, Bad with Money, I Hate Everyone But You, and
we already talked about that.
comes an all-new original
We
graphic
already talked about that.
with a thrill of the chase.
about-
Dangerous,
already-
going toe to
already.
toe with original potential
Anyhow.
killer.
Anyhow, synopsis, good synopsis. I found a review and interview with her.
Do you enjoy interrupting me?
newnownnext.com.
Wait, say again?
newnownnext.com.
Oh, okay.
There was a review and an interview.
Mm-hmm.
And so Madison is a bisexual Asian American rookie newspaper journalist because she was an intern.
Right.
But she gets hired. She gets hired on, right?
Spoiler alert.
Oh, she might get hired on. But yes. So I mean, and there's also a Betsy DeVos-esque character,
Oh yeah, I
Raquel Steve,
forgot
and
about
that is part of the whole thing. That's part of the reason it says she's being manipulated. Madison's being manipulated by this woman because she wants to uncover this bigger conspiracy, and that's really why it all rolls together. And that's why I don't know why she chose Madison. I think it was just because she was an intern.
I can't remember. Did you see her at the crime scene?
I don't know if she did.
Because Madison saw her, Dahlia,
Mhm.
right? So did she see her at the crime scene? So didn't she? I can't
Well,
remember
she was.
now.
Nobody would know this Dahlia. Everybody came and tried to interview her, and she wouldn't talk to anyone. So then Madison went there and she talked to her.
Yes.
She
And
wouldn't.
so
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I think that she saw her at the crime scene, so she like had some kind of connection. Like
Maybe I don't know.
not that would, I don't know.
No, but
she told her
uses
everything.
She uses her.
But it
big-
helps too
big
that
time.
Madison is like, I don't think you did this. You know?
Mhm.
So I think she just kind of intrigued her.
Yeah, probably. So part of this, she wanted to pitch. She wanted to pitch to Boom Studios, and eventually,
Gaby.
Gaby did for the book, and she got eventually got called to do this book that she had the idea for, and then she had to learn how to write a graphic novel, which she had never written before. She'd written several other novels, but a graphic novel is a little different.
Yeah.
And she liked Birds of Prey, which her author or her illustrator Claire worked on, and maybe that's how she got in touch with her, or maybe she had nothing to do with it. Maybe the publisher picked up.
That's always
artist.
That's fascinating to me. I'm curious, how that all happens. She's a New York Times bestseller. Does she say, "Hey, I'm going to be doing it"? I mean, obviously, it wasn't like public.
People
but,
do.
Her agent maybe reached out to a few people and said, "Is this?" If she had seen her work in Birds of Prey, you said. And, so maybe they reach out to her right away just because of that.
Could have.
Maybe people submitted stuff. I'm curious about how all that stuff comes together sometimes.
On Twitter, sometimes you see...
because she has several people that are part of the book.
Right. There's letterer, colorist, right?
Yeah. So how were those people chosen? That's fascinating.
Who are
to
they?
me.
What are their names?
We have colors by Miguel Marito and letters by Mike Fiorentino. And the cover, cover by Claire Rowe, who also illustrated it, and designer Jillian Crabb, and then the editor, which they don't usually put an editor on the cover.
Maybe,
but edited by Daphne Pleb. Huh?
Maybe because it's a graphic novel.
Maybe. Pleban.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm really terrible with names.
Yeah.
I'm apologizing right now.
I know.
To all of you.
So, one of the questions they ask in this interview, did you ask for any of the characters to be based on you? And she's like, no, not really, because Madison is Chinese American, but her parents still read the book and they're like, oh yeah, that's just like you. And she's like, no, it's not me. It's just a story. And they're like, but yeah, I remember. Yeah. So, and
So there's the name of the book is a little twist because the Boston Lead is the newspaper that Madison's working at.
Uh-huh.
So it's a double thing. Bury the Lead is in bury the newspaper,
Uh-huh.
and the lead is LEDE,
Uh-huh.
but it's also bury the lead in this lead story, because it's a major story that's like headlines.
Right.
And they're trying to, some people want to bury it because it goes up pretty high.
Including her brother.
Because
who works for the mayor.
Exactly.
Yeah. I loved it. There was
Exactly.
so much that all worked together
Mhm.
to make this story so I don't know what the word is. The story was so great because there's so much content, so
Mhm.
many different, little pieces that all
Mhm.
come together. And
Like a Seinfeld episode.
I mean, yeah, it is almost like
All
a
these
Seinfeld
different things
episode.
that eventually all
I really
come
hate
together.
to reference Seinfeld only because like I'm so terrified that
He's going to come out as
something's
going to
happen. I mean, he already married. I mean, is he still married to that?
Oh, yeah, he is.
Or did he just
Mhm.
date the
Oh, no,
17-year-old?
he's married to her.
Okay, so maybe not. But I don't know. Anyway, I honestly, if they're straight white men, I just assume that there's something out there in show business.
But you're right. It's a great crime story.
Yes.
And
the twists.
Yes, all the twists and the different things, and you don't really know. It's good. She's got it good,
great.
so you don't know everything until the very end, really.
Yep.
And she wrote a really good story.
Absolutely. And I'm invested in the characters. I want to know more. I mean, she could do a prequel, really.
Prequel? Well, no, because then what?
It wouldn't be about that. It
wouldn't be about
Madison. It would be building the characters. No, it wouldn't have to be about. I mean, it could be about Dahlia.
Yes,
because she has that whole story.
Or Madison could do something else. I mean, it could be another crime story or something. Because, I mean,
right, she could do stuff in the future.
Exactly.
Because, she was an intern. Maybe now she's doing something else.
Exactly. But I really liked the story. It was fun and
there's several queer characters.
Oh well, yeah, that was a big thing. She wanted to make sure. That was one thing she said in this interview. She said that
she's a bisexual icon.
Yeah, she worked at the Boston Globe herself, Gaby Dunn, as an intern.
Right.
So she used this as like a basis for her story. And then there was some story about Clark Rockefeller that was made into a Lifetime movie, and he was a con artist and stuff. And so she used some of this in her story as like part of the story. Some other thing, and another thing about a guy who supposedly killed his own kid, but he wouldn't talk to anybody.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
You said supposedly, but
they thought he had murdered his own kid, and he wouldn't talk to anybody until this Spanish-speaking reporter came in, and that was the only person he would speak
because he spoke Spanish.
Probably.
Okay, but that makes perfect sense.
Yes, but that might
because when you don't speak the same language, like things can easily get I mean, I hate to bring up whatever, but look at Amanda Knox. Like she was in Italy and she didn't speak that great of Italian, and so she's like signing this, what was it called? To say that she did this thing.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But they're like, just sign it. They don't really confession, but they didn't really tell her. They're just like telling her what to write. And so like there was so much lost in translation there. And she didn't know. She thought she just wanted to get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that probably happens a lot, especially
Italian,
when you,
though. She did speak Italian.
She didn't speak it well though,
okay.
because things were lost. Like see you later to the police was making a plan. To her, it was just like, see you the next time I see you.
Mm-hmm.
That's how.
Oh yeah.
So lots of things like that.
Right.
So I could see if you are if your native language is not English and the only people coming to talk to you are English speaking, and you even relying on a translator can potentially, mess things up.
Right.
So that's really interesting.
So,
I mean, is it interesting? No, it's I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I know what you're saying. So she said that Boston crime, which is all super straight and white guy driven, like the shows and stuff like The Departed and things like that, they're all very white, Bostonians. So she said she tried to queer it up and add people of color, and which she did, and it's good. There's a little romance going on there with her and another character, or not her, but Madison.
Her, yes, Madison.
And it's good. This, like you said, the story has like these twists.
Do
and
we
turns
jump back and forth between talking about Gabby and talking about the character too much?
I know it's like her parents.
We're turning into her parents and we don't even know her.
We're making you one and the same as your character.
Yeah,
but
we're terrible people.
I don't know about terrible, but maybe not good.
We're definitely not good people.
But it was really a good book.
It was a great story. Absolutely, it was a great story. Yeah. And my favorite part, I mean, I had lots of favorite parts, but one of my favorite parts was was Madison on a date with him? Were they on a date?
With somebody.
I know that who she was with.
Mhm.
I don't remember if they were on a date or if
They did.
they were okay. So I think that they were out on. I think they were out on a date,
Mhm.
and one of them said that they were bisexual, and the other was like, "Me too," and they
Mhm.
high five.
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
oh my god, that is so bi culture.
Yeah. And she's very big on that. And recently she's been was it her? I think it was her that was tweeting out that bi men are bisexuals too. And
I don't know if it was her, but
yeah, somebody was.
It's been a big thing recently. Bisexual men exist. Yeah.
And they wanted bi men to respond.
Yeah.
And they're like, we hope that other bi men get dates because of this, because a lot of people like to write them off as not being real.
Yeah, and you know what? Not being real, and also the biphobia against bi men is so huge. I have a friend who told me she would never date a bisexual guy, and I'm like, that's really biphobic, and she just didn't get it. How is it like?
Was it an AIDS related thing? I mean, what was the reason for it?
No, I think that it was just like a fear of not being enough. Yeah, of not being enough. It's like that's not how it works. Like you're gonna find shitty people who are bi who don't want to be who won't be open about not wanting to be monogamous, but like there's straight guys that are that way too. Like the fact that they're bi has nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
plenty of bi people who are monogamous exist.
Mm-hmm.
And just because you're bi doesn't mean that you're going to cheat on your partner.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, that's what they were getting at.
Yeah, yes, sorry. That took me a long time to get to that point.
No, I understand now what you're saying, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But that's a huge thing that bi people face.
All right. So there's a lot of different things going on in the book and in life in general, and I think that Gaby Dunn tried to bring real life into the story in her characters.
That's one of the other things I was going to mention, is that it's not about queer.
Right. They just happen to be queer.
They are just people living their lives and, existing while also being queer.
Exactly.
Which I think is the way that a lot of queer people live. Life isn't constantly about the fact that they're queer.
Right.
And so I really love the way that she worked that into.
Which is the problem with the homophobic people who think that all gay people are just having sex all the time, or if they look at them
in front of everybody.
And if they look at somebody, they want to have sex with them too.
Yes. Oh, of course.
Because
like me, I'm bisexual, so I am attracted to anyone and everyone all the time.
And every time
I'm trying to convert every single person.
Exactly. Well,
No, I'm not ever trying to convert anybody, but I definitely am not attracted to everyone.
Well, exactly.
Anyway,
so but this I really like this book, Bury the Lede. It was a good read.
Absolutely.
And
I hope she decides to do more. I hope it does really well for her, and she's encouraged to do more.
Well, if it did well, even if she doesn't do another one like this, it might be one of those one stories that you have this one story in your brain that and sometimes it's hard to come up with something else. But if she does, definitely would read it.
I'm still going to support the podcast that she does.
Oh, of course, the podcast is fun. Our oldest sings along with
both of them. Both of them do international questions.
International questions.
Yeah. We shouldn't.
They love that.
Yeah, and I didn't know. You said that that she has another podcast.
She did. I don't know if it's still going.
She does it with Allison. You said too, though?
No, that was just hers.
Oh, okay.
And she's mentioned it before. I've heard it. The money.
I'm bad with money.
I'm bad with money. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you've heard it before.
Yeah,
that's the other one she's done.
I don't think I realized it was a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it might be over now,
or near the end.
But still.
Yeah.
Obviously, I go back and listen to everything.
Yeah. So.
Which you can do too. Go back to the beginning of our podcast and listen to them from the beginning.
Yes, I think this episode 30.
Is it 30?
It might be 30. We skipped 1 week because you were sick and we just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we've been doing it every week since we started.
Yeah, we're doing good. 30. That would mean that we're wow. Yeah.
Yeah, well over half a year. So, yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah, the spring is in the air. Look at all those pink flowers flying. Not flying.
Nope.
Stuck on the trees.
They'll be flying soon.
I know, very soon.
And then pollen will go from COVID to pollen. It'll just go from one thing to the other.
Oh my God, the racism.
Oh, I know. And I'm a bus driver and I pick up a lot of Asian people and I see people wearing masks and it's just whatever. They're wearing masks. I don't care, but I'm sure there are other people on the bus and other drivers who have issues with it.
Well, I went in to get my blood drawn and the phlebotomist was Asian and he had some sinus issue going on and he like immediately made sure to tell me that it was allergies and talked several times about the allergies and I knew that it was coming from people responding to him like oh, I don't want him drawing my blood. And it's like
yep,
it was so infuriating to me that he, first of all, what his health issues are none of my business. I don't need to know those details.
No, I know, but he needs to
tell
you.
But he felt he had to tell me because racism is so, because he's Asian.
Yep.
He had an accent and he's, drawing my blood. So he's close to me and touching me. And I just felt terrible for him. He's like, and he's, telling me that, I don't know. It was frustrating. I felt really bad for him, and I told him I hope his allergies go away soon. But I didn't realize, I guess, that I mean, I always think the springtime is when the allergies kick in, but he had said that his allergies are from December through like February, March.
Well, it's different. It's different here too. It's not like we get a snow that like freezes everything and kills it all.
That's
so
true.
I mean, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Well, and he said that was the other thing he said. See, this is the time it took him to draw my blood. He's telling me all these things about his personal, allergy issue, and it's like you shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to tell all of our listeners. No, never mind. I'm done talking about him. But just stop thinking that just because somebody's Asian and coughing that they have COVID,
or they're wearing a mask. It's just part of their culture. They automatically are trained to do this from their culture, wearing masks. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about that.
Stop being racist. I mean, it really comes down to that.
Exactly. All right. This is another episode of our show that we are concluding right this minute. And my name is Mike.
And I'm Parker.
And this is what?
The Graphic Novel Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Graphic Novel Podcast.
Make sure you find us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter at Graphic Novel Pod.
The other places, I think it's Graphic Novel Podcast, but it's Graphic Novel Pod on Twitter.
I was surprised I remembered that much.
I know, because you know what? I would not have remembered that. It was good. And if you like the show, please go to your favorite store that you listen to podcasts and at least give us a 5-star, or if you have the time, leave a review. You can send us an email at graphicnovelpodcast@gmail.com.
Tell your friends about us.
Definitely tell your friends about us. Check us out. Visit us on social media, on Twitter. That's where I am the most. It's on Twitter. I try to avoid Facebook at all costs. And you can also, if you go to anchor.fm /graphic novel podcast, you can go to our site and you can leave us a voice message. And if you leave us a nice message, maybe we'll play it on the air. Is that it? Nothing else? You don't want to say anything else?
Nope.
Good for you, Krabby Dog.